So I'll just recapitulate the things which we have learned earlier, right? We have learned about the indicators, I guess, and the types of indicators, right? So indicator is the dye or the dye stuff which can distinguish in between acid and bases by showing the change in color and by showing the change in odor. Okay. So normally indicators has been classified into two different groups, like natural indicators and the artificial indicators. Natural indicators are the indicator which are available from the natural resources, like from the plants and animals, right? Whereas artificial indicators are made up into the laboratory by using the different chemicals. So example for the natural indicators also we have learned. Okay, Aryan, no issues. No issues. So what we have learned in the examples for the natural indicator, turmeric powder, then litmus paper, these all are natural indicators. Even the rose petals, China rose petals, even that hibiscus petals, these all are what? Natural indicators. And artificial are eosine, then phenolphthalein. Apart from that, universal indicator. These indicators are what? Made up into the laboratory to distinguish in between acid and bases.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Please turn on your video, beta. Ion, what's your name? Can you please pronounce once? Ionija, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Please turn on your video. That we have learned. Then we have learned the types of like classification of acids. Acid is classified into the organic acid, mineral acids, right? Then on the basicity also we can classify them like monobasic acid, dibasic acid, tribasic acid, isn't it? Yes, fine. So organic acids are available from the organic sources like citric acid, lactic acid, acetic acid. These are we are getting from the natural resources. Vinegar is in a vinegar, acetic acid is present. Citric acid is present into the lemon and oranges, right? Lactic acid is present into the milk. So these are what? Natural resources. Fine? Yes or no? So these acids are called as organic acid. Organic acid has another name that is also what? Carboxylic acid. Now inorganic acids are generally prepared into the laboratory. Three acids are there that are inorganic acid, HCl, H2SO4, and HNO3. Right? The name of these are hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, and nitric acid. Correct? Yes or no? And these inorganic acid also called as what? Mineral acids. Correct? Yes or no? This we have learned? Fine. Apart from that, we have seen on the basis of concentration, it can be divided into concentrated and the dilute acid. Correct? DIL dot means dilute acid. So here, water quantity in a concentration is very less. Whereas in a dilute acid, water quantity is maximum or more. Okay? This is called as dilute acid. So concentrated acid can be converted into dilute acid by adding water. If in a concentrated acid, if you add a water, it can be converted into dilute acid. Fine? Yes? Yeah. And what do you mean by the acid? The very important and the basic thing to learn about the acid and bases. Dhriti, Shubhansh, please turn on your video. Dhriti.
Ma'am, just a second.
Yeah, please. And Shubhansh, please set your camera. Your face should be visible. Clear? Fine. So concentrated acid can be converted into dilute acid by addition of water. This we have learned. And apart from that, I have explained you about what? One more important thing. That is the basicity of acid. Basicity of acid. What does it mean? Like we know that acid has a tendency to lose H plus ion in their aqueous solution. Correct? What do you mean by aqueous solution? Aqua means water. Means whenever you mix this acid into the water, it will lose what? H plus ion. Right? It will be dissociate into the two different ion, and one of the ion is nothing but H plus ion. So how many H plus ion is dissociated when acid is dissolved into the water? It will decide its basicity. It will decide its what? Basicity. Understanding? If your acid HCl is dissociated as H plus Cl minus in its aqueous solution, and only H plus ion is present, only one H plus ion is present in your dissociation, then such an acid is called as what? Monobasic acid. Correct? Yes, this already we have learned it. This is not completely new. I have explained you this earlier. Now next one is H2SO4. So how it will be dissociate? It will be dissociate as 2H plus ion plus SO4 2 minus or minus 2. Correct? So how many H plus ion has been released in aqueous solution of H2SO4? 2. Right? And hence it will be what? Dibasic acid. Correct? And one more we will see. That is what? H3PO4. This is phosphoric acid. The name of this acid, if you don't know, please write down the formula and write down the name below it. It's a phosphoric acid. Okay. When you dissolve it into the water, it will release 3H plus ion plus PO4 3 minus or minus 3. Okay. Fine. So how many H plus ion has been released in the aqueous solution of phosphoric acid? How many? 3. Correct? Yes or no? Are you able to see 3H plus ion and PO4 3 minus? So this plus 3 and minus 3 can balance each other to form H3PO4. And this formation of formula you already learned in your grade 9. You have learned it or not? In your grade 9, are you learn framing of chemical formula or not? Come on, speak up guys. I'm speaking with you. For what reason I ask you to turn on video? Dhairya,
Yes, ma'am.
you have learned or not? Framing of chemical formula?
Ma'am, I have like
Okay, fine. So see
balancing.
here, H plus is there, right? H plus means it has a +1 valency.
Yeah,
And
ma'am.
phosphate group, PO4, 3 minus valency. What are you supposed to do? Here I'm going to write its valency +1. Here I'm going to write its -3 valency. And
Yeah,
I'm
ma'am.
supposed to do cross multiplication. This you have done?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So H will be multiplying by 3. So your formula become H3. And PO4 group will be multiplied by 1. So H3PO4. In this way, your phosphoric acid formula would be made up. Isn't it? Aryan, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, in the same way, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you learned it earlier? So it will release how many H plus ion in its aqueous solution? Kriti?
3.
3. So if it releases 3 ions, it will be tribasic acid. Understood? Monobasic means it will release how many hydrogen? 1 H plus ion in its aqueous solution. Dibasic means it will release how many? 2. And tribasic means it will release how many? 3 H plus ion in its aqueous solution. Please note it down. If you want to note down in your mother tongue, that's too fine. But then you should understand it. It's very important. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Any doubt in this? Whatever I have explained in that, anybody have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Fine. So basic properties of acid also we have learned, right? Right? Physical properties of acid. What it was? Acids are, what would be the test of acid? Test of acid, Moksha. I'll give you two options. Sweet, bitter, sour.
Sour, ma'am.
Why? Tamarind, it has a tartaric acid. It's a sour. Lemon, it has a citric acid. It's sour. Lactic acid present into the curd. It is also sour. So acids are sour in test. Second, acids are corrosive in nature. Corrosive means it's cause irritation to skin if it fall on skin, right? Third thing is what? How will be the acids? It get dissociate into the water, right? It get dissociate into the water and can conduct the electricity. Aqueous solution of acid can conduct the electricity. And acids turn blue litmus paper into red. Acid turns blue litmus paper into red. Clear? These are the four basic characteristics, properties of acids. You need to keep it in your mind. Already we have learned it. It's not like that we haven't learned. I just recapitulated. Fine? Okay. Now we are going to turn towards the reactions of acids. Already we have learned two reactions. I'll just recapitulate it once and then we'll proceed. Okay, for the next reaction. Shall I erase the content, whatever I have written on the board? Hello. Speak up, guys. You're not speaking.
Yeah, ma'am.
Fine. Now this speed is okay. With this speed, if I explain, that is okay. Need not to, it's not much fast, right? Everybody's understanding now whatever I'm teaching in with this speed?
Yeah, ma'am.
Or I have to become little slow?
No.
Fine. No issues. Now see reactions of acid or chemical properties. Or chemical properties of acid. Fine. In that first reaction of acids with metal. Right? In that, which acids you have to learn? Only three acids you have to think about. That are HCl, H2SO4, and HNO3. These are the mineral acid. Only these three acids you have to think about. Okay. So first of all, we are going to see about the HCl, general reaction. What happened when it react with? When it react with what? Metal. So when hydrochloric acid, general reaction, when metal react with any of the acid, it will form salt and hydrogen gas. It's a general reaction. Clear? Very general reaction. Now, which acid we are going to treat with the metal? According to that, your general reaction and the formation of salt would be changed. See, logic. What is logic behind it? Whatever would be the metal you're taking, if your acid is a hydrochloric acid, HCl. Shubhansh Singh and the Moksha, your video is off. Please turn it on.
No, 1 minute.
Yeah. Metal reacted with hydrochloric acid. So one of our product is nothing but what? Hydrogen gas, H2. Keep it in your mind. Whenever hydrogen gas would be released, is always released as a H2 gas. It will never release only H, because this is diatomic gas or diatomic molecule, we can say. Diatomic molecular gas. Right? So it will always release as a H2. It will never go as only H. Okay, like oxygen O2, hydrogen H2, nitrogen N2, chlorine Cl2. These all are gases are nothing but what? Diatomic gases. So its molecule contain how many atoms of that particular element? 2 atoms. And hence it is called as what? Diatomic gases. Clear? So hydrogen is a diatomic gas and hence always release as a H2. So what is remain in your hydrochloric acid? Hydrogen would release. Only chlorine is remain and here it is metal. So the salt would be formed metal chloride. Right? Which salt will form here? Metal chloride. Fine. So to frame a formula for this, what you should know? You should know the valency of metal and the valency of chlorine. Clear? Hydrogen valency you are already aware that is H plus 1. Clear? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now
Yes,
see
ma'am.
here, valencies I'll write. Valency of hydrogen is +1. Then for the metal, you need to see, like I'll give you that again the sequence. In that I'll give you the valencies for all the metals as well. And for the chlorine, it will be Cl. Cl valency is -1. Clear? Right. So metal, suppose, I think I gave you that sequence, na? Karinane, Karmangi, Altos, and Ferrari. Right? So that will be what? A, Na, Karinane, Karmangi, Alto, then Ferrari, फिर भी हाथ क्यों है जी silver, Audi, Purani. Right? Among this you need to ignore because these are the noble metals. It do not react at all. So we are not going to see the reaction for those gold and platinum, noble metals. Okay. So the valency for the potassium is +1. For the sodium is also +1. Calcium is +2. Magnesium is +2. Aluminum is +3. Zinc is +2. Ferrous shows 2 valencies, either +2 or +3. Okay, whenever it shows the +2, it is called as ferrous. And when it is shows +3, it is called as ferric. Double ROUS, ferrous. And this will be ferric. This is also +1 and +2. Plumbus and plumbuck. Here it is +1, +1 or +2. Cuprous and cupric. And this will be cupric. This is mercury +1, +1. That's it. Sometime it will be +2 as well. That's it. These are the valencies. Keep it in your mind, note down somewhere because this you need to utilize to frame the chemical equations. Fine? Yeah? Noted? Shubham, Dhriti, Aryan. Turn on your video. I don't know why you're hiding yourself behind the screen. What's wrong? Aryan, turn on your video. Shayan, Sharif, please turn on your video. Fine. Note down these valencies. Have you noted?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. I hope you have written the reactions as well. General reaction which I have given on the board. Yes, no, speak up.
Yeah,
Shayan,
ma'am.
I'm asking you, beta, whether you have written it or not.
Yeah, ma'am.
Fine. Dhairya Singh, noted.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Dhriti,
Yes, ma'am.
Moksha,
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
1 minute, wait, ma'am.
Ionija,
Yes, ma'am.
fine. Shubhansh,
Yes, ma'am.
fine.
Ma'am, 1 minute, wait, ma'am.
Fine. Aryan, your video? Okay, you're there. Fine. You're noted? Okay.
Ma'am,
Now,
no, ma'am,
shall I
chelated.
erase these valencies because I have to utilize this board for the showing the reactions.
Ma'am, 1
Shall
minute,
I?
ma'am.
Hurry up fast.
Completed, ma'am.
Okay, shall I erase it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone noted? If anybody is remain or something is like pending, you can take a shot of it. Okay, that's okay. You can note it down later because I gave sufficient time to copy. Okay. Now I'll give you a general reaction. Already I gave you. You just have to do what? You have to put the metals, different metals, and write down the products. How you're gonna do that? I'll let you know. Fine. Several number of reactions can be done. Balance is already given. I'll utilize a different color for the reaction, so you will understand it in a better manner. Now see metal, suppose I have taken here calcium, Ca. If it is react with hydrochloric acid, HCl, right? So what would be the product? Metal chloride. Now here calcium is there and chlorine is, it will get calcium chloride, right? And your hydrogen gas would be released. H2 would be released. Your one product is fixed. But then if you don't know the formula of salt, how you can frame it? By using the valencies. Already I gave you valency of calcium. You have noted down that is +2. Chlorine valency I have given Cl, that is -1. These valency you have to write it below and go for the cross multiplication. While multiplying, you just have to multiply with a number, not with a sign. Keep it in your mind. So this calcium will be multiplied by 1. You will get Ca, 1s are Ca. And Cl will get multiplied by 2. So it becomes CaCl2. So the chemical formula for calcium chloride is CaCl2. What I'm going to write here? Yes, what I should write here? Moksha? Ca?
CaCl2.
Very good. I supposed to write here CaCl2. Name of this compound? Calcium chloride. Correct? Yes. Is this reaction balanced?
No, ma'am.
What I supposed to do now?
Put
Yes,
2 in
Shukash?
front of HCl.
You can check here. How many chlorines are present here?
2 in front of HCl.
How many hydrogen? 2. This side it is only 1 and 1. To make it 2, I supposed to multiply this entire HCl molecule by 2. And when I do, this will multiply, this multiply by 1 hydrogen, it become 2. This multiply by this 1 chlorine, it become 2. Right? So your balance equation is Ca plus twice HCl. You will get CaCl2 plus H2. Right? Yes? So I will give you few more examples. Okay? That you have to solve by yourself. Can you do that now? Valencies are there with you. Can you do that by yourself? Can you do that by yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
not, I'm there to help you. Don't worry. If you cannot, that's fine. It's not like that completely yourself have to solve. I'm there to help you. If you like stuck somewhere, please do ask. Okay. Don't worry about it. Like ma'am, what ma'am will say, shall I ask or not? Don't worry like that. Definitely I'm there for help. But then what I feel like you should try. When you will try, what happens? You will become perfect. You will understand where you are means like doing mistakes and that you will overcome later by practice. Clear? So shall I erase it and shall I give you a few more examples with the HCl only of few more metals?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Shall I erase it all? General reactions must be there with you all with hydrochloric. Fine. It's like mathematics students. You just, it's a formula and you have to just put the things. That's it. Fine. So I'm going to give you this aluminium reacted with HCl. What would be the product?
And can I tell?
Ah, yeah, you go for it. You write down and later we will discuss it. Okay, you solve. Fine. Now here it will be the two reactions, okay? With Fe, because Fe has how many? Two valences. Write down all different products and I want name as well. As per our general reaction, last product is the same, that is hydrogen gas is released, right? But then in all case, hydrogen gas will not be released. You have to see the active metals. Only with active metal, hydrogen gas would be released. Below hydrogen, whichever metal would be there, that metals cannot displace hydrogen from the acid, right? I have explained this in the earlier period. Yes or no? Yes or no? Dhairya, Shubhansh, turn on your video.
Yeah. 1 minute. Metal below hydrogen cannot displace hydrogen in HCl, in H2SO4, and even not in HNO3. So the metals above the hydrogen only can displace hydrogen. So this reaction with HCl and the metal would be happen within these metals only. This metal will not show reaction with HCl. Keep it in your mind. Fine. This is what this, whatever I have written, Karinani Karmangi, or that potassium, sodium, calcium, this is a reactivity series of metal. Right? When you come from top to bottom in this series, reactivity of metal goes on, decreases. Right? So your these upper metals like potassium, sodium, and calcium, they are highly reactive. Right? Metal from magnesium till lead, they are moderately reactive. And these metals are least reactive. Now these metals, as they are kept below the hydrogen, these metal doesn't have, like copper, mercury, silver, then the gold and platinum, they cannot displace hydrogen from their compound, like from HCl, from H2SO4, etc. And hence these do not show the reaction, with HCl. Fine. So think about this silver and copper, whether these two can displace hydrogen. This reaction possible?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
This reaction will not be possible. So here you have to write what? No reaction. Here also you're going to write what? No reaction in the answer. If somebody asked you reason, what you're going to write? Like metal, silver, and the copper metals are least reactive than the hydrogen. Hydrogen cannot displace by silver and copper, and hence reaction does not take place. Please note down in your words. Correct? Yes, Aryan?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now other reaction and their products you need to write down, which are possible.
Harriet, turn on your video.
Yeah, ma'am.
One more child was there, na? Shian something. Where he went or what?
He left.
He left.
Why? Okay, whatever. So how many students are there present in the class? Are you understanding whatever I taught thoroughly? Or anything is there which I'm not understand or something, please let me know so I can explain it again. And the speed with which I'm going to go now, that is okay, or I have to reduce it? It's like I have to go much slower. If it is so, that too you can tell me, frankly. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
And only one student. What about others? How I come to know? Yeah? Ionji,
Yeah, ma'am.
Ionija?
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Dhairya?
Okay, ma'am.
Moksha?
Okay, ma'am.
Kriti?
Ma'am, it's okay.
Panch?
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. Who else remain? Meher? Meher, have you joined late?
Yes, ma'am. Like,
Okay. Anybody's left? No, no? Fine. So shall I give you the answers? Check your answers. I hope you have written right.
yes, ma'am.
So the answer would be what? Aluminium valency is what? Your first product, last product is the same, that is H2, right? I'm going to erase it. This I have explained you earlier. So I can frame the formula this side. See here. Aluminium valency is +3, which I gave you earlier. Chlorine is -1. Here +3, -1. Go for cross multiplication. What you will get? Al ones are Al and Cl multiplied by 3. So Cl3. So you will get here Al, Cl3. Correct? So you can see this number is odd number. This number is also odd number, only one chlorine. But then if I multiply by 3, this HCl, suppose if I multiply by 3, your hydrogen will become this side odd and this side it is even. And it should not happen. For that reason, what I'm going to do, I will convert this chlorine only first of all into even number. How I supposed to convert it into even number? By multiplying this AlCl3 by 2. Correct? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
If I do so, what happened? Number of aluminum will become 2 and chlorine will become 3 2s are 6. Right? Here chlorine is only 1. To make it 6, what I'm going to do? I will multiply this HCl by 6. Correct? Now your hydrogen will become 6 and your chlorine also will become 6. Now this side hydrogen is 6, this side hydrogen is only 2. To make it 6, I should multiply this hydrogen by 3. 3 2s are 6. Right? And only now aluminum is remain, that is 2. And this need to be multiplied by 2. So your number of aluminum also become 2. So this is a balanced chemical equation because number of atoms present into the reactant is equal to number of atoms present inside the product. Reactant side is equal to product side. Clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now see the next Fe. Fe has a 2 different valencies. If it act as a Fe plus 2, with a Cl minus 1, your formula would be Fe plus 2 and minus 1, that is FeCl2. Right? If it is act as a plus 3, sorry, Fe plus 3 and here Cl minus 1, that time it will be plus 3 and minus 1. If we go for cross multiplication, our formula would be FeCl3. This is ferrous chloride and this is ferric chloride. Purposely, I said you to write down the names as well. Okay, ferrous chloride and ferric chloride. Now, those formulae we're supposed to write it and the balancing things. Isn't it? What would be the formula here now? If it act as a Fe plus 2, then FeCl2 plus H2, right? As it is in gaseous state and release in the product side, hence what we're supposed to do, we have to show it with upward arrow. This rules and regulation you have learned in your first chapter of writing the chemical equation, isn't it? Reactant at the left hand side, product at the right hand side, arrow should be there in between. Arrow shows the direction of chemical reaction, tail towards the reactant, point towards the product, isn't it? These all things you have learned or not? Come on, students, I'm asking you something.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now, this is FeCl2 plus H2. And here it will be what? FeCl3 plus H2. Now, both the reactions you should balance. Again here, Fe plus HCl. How are you going to do that? It's 2 chlorine, 2 hydrogen. Hence, you have to multiply it by 2. That's it. I think balance equation. This would be the balance equation. Need not to do much things in this. But then this FeCl3 need to be, like 3 should be converted into even first by multiplying by 2. Your ferrous become 2 and chlorine become 6. And for balancing this HCl also need to be multiplied by 6. Hydrogen need to multiply by 3 to make it 6. 3 2s are 6. And iron would be 2. Okay. So the reaction of iron with the HCl follow 2 reactions where it act as a Fe plus 2 and somewhere it act as a Fe plus 3. When it act as a plus 2, then it will be yield as a, it will produce ferrous chloride, and when it will be plus 3, then it will be produce ferric chloride, right? Silver and copper is placed below the hydrogen in the reactivity series of metal. They are least reactive than the hydrogen. Hence, silver and copper cannot displace hydrogen from their compound or from the hydrochloric acid, and hence reaction does not take place. Clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Fine.
ma'am.
And lastly, this reaction, obviously, this can be happened, right? Your one of the product is H2. And what happened when the zinc is reacted? Zinc valency is plus 2, right? I hope you have written this, right? You might have written. Zn, its valency is plus 2. Chlorine valency is minus 1. Plus 2, minus 1. If we go for cross multiplication, Zn ones are Zn and Cl the Cl2. You will get here Zn, Cl2. Clear? So 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine, just multiplied by 2. That's it. It's a balance equation. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Any one of you have
Yes,
any
ma'am.
not understand throughout the period? Let me know. So tomorrow we are going to see about the H2SO4. So general reaction and a few examples for that I'll give, because thoroughly I have explained it again. I'm going to take it in a detailed manner. Shall I erase it?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you have noted?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So generally, again, if metal reacted with your sulfuric acid, H2SO4, right? Obviously, when metal react with acid, it will release your hydrogen gas. So remain what? This is sulfate and this is metal. So your salt would be metal sulfate. Okay. So metal valency is there with you. Sulfate valency is SO4 minus 2. This you have to keep it in your mind. So just metal valency is there with you. Sulfate valency I gave you. You can frame the number of reactions. Can you? Can you? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Fine.
ma'am.
Any example if we have to see, that would be suppose sodium Na plus H2SO4, right? Hydrogen gas would be released. Sodium valency already I gave you, that is +1. Sulfate is here SO4 minus 2. +1 minus 2. Sodium will multiply by 2, it become Na2. And sulfate will multiply by 1. So Na2SO4. So your sodium sulfate formula would be Na2SO4. If you don't know, then too you can frame if you know the valencies. Clear? Yes? Shall I give you few reactions like this? I will post it in your group for the homework. Can you do that?
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Note it
Okay,
down this.
ma'am.
And utilize this general reaction for that. If you can do, it's fine. If not, then we will discuss it again by Wednesday. Okay? I hope all of you understand thoroughly whatever I have explained.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody is there which have not understand, any means something is like so like tough, it was completely out of mind. If it is so, please let me know. I can revise it again. You can text me related to. Yeah. At 10 minutes, you have another class, I guess. So I think I have to end the class. But then if you have any sort of query, do not hesitate to ask. Feel free and do ask. Okay. Shall I end the
Okay,
class?
Okay, ma'am.
We have just learned today reaction of metal with hydrochloric acid, reaction of metal with sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acids, just one example I have given you. Rest all examples we will discuss later. Few examples I will post into group as a homework. Try to do it. If you're able to do, that's fine. If you're not able to do, we will do in our next class. Fine?
Okay, ma'am.
And
Okay, ma'am.
fine. Take care, students. Bye-bye.